Hi there, it's Ashley, and I'm here to talk to you about The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, book by Rebecca Skloot. So going into reading this book, I really didn't know too much about Henrietta Lacks or the HeLa cells or kind of really anything about that. I knew that a movie was made recently starring Oprah Winfrey, and it popped up on my HBO app, and it kind of inspired me to find the book and read it. So I borrowed this copy from a friend of mine. Thanks for letting me borrow it. And immediately devoured this book. It was so good. I was drawn in quickly by, this story of Henrietta Lacks and her family, which the book really focuses on, is telling the story of the people behind this huge medical discovery. And so while the book is telling the story of Henrietta and her family, it is also very well supported by what is going on in the medical and science field due to the HeLa cells. And what the HeLa cells are, Henrietta Lacks is a poor black woman who was diagnosed with cervical cancer, and so she goes to the hospital. They remove some cells from her cervix and her uterus, and they're cancerous cells, but it turns out they can live in culture and grow in culture, and it kind of is this huge big deal that scientists have been trying to kind of create cells that can live and survive and grow in culture for so long, and now that they have it, it's like this big thing because they can use these cells to test diseases and do all of these things, and test medications and treatments and things like that they can't do on actual human beings. You can take the cells and inject the cells with different treatments and medicines and see how a human being cells would react, instead of, because you can't just go around and injecting people with cancer and then, giving them treatments to see if it works. And so the story in this book really flows together well, because you have her life and the science, and it just kind of flows in parallel and intertwines, and you don't really feel overwhelmed by either side. You don't feel like you need to choose, you support Henrietta's family or that you support the medical field. You can support both and believe in both, because while informed consent didn't exist when Henrietta's cells were taken from her, the medical discoveries that have been made because of her cells are astronomical. Many people wouldn't be alive today without these discoveries, but it also has that ethical, judgment to it, where the fact that her family and her children are living in poverty and they can't even afford to go to the doctor for treatments. It's one of those stories that raises a lot of questions and has you kind of guessing and things like that, but I never felt pressure to choose a side. I felt like I could root for both sides in this story. And very little was known about the person behind the HeLa cells before this book was written, and Rebecca Skloot just did so much research and spent years, trying to try and get the Lacks family to let her in and open up to her while she was doing research. And to me, this book was really about educating people on HeLa cells, but also informing people about the developments in science because of these cells, and also the developments in informed consent and things like that. It's really an important read. And for me personally, I really enjoyed learning about Henrietta's past and kind of where she descended from and things like that, because I love family history things. So again, if you're looking for a great read, it's kind of thick, but it's a really, really important kind of medical, science-y nonfiction read. I gave this book 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I became a little obsessed with it. I did a lot of research outside of this book. And not to mention, Rebecca Skloot did a lot of her research and stuff while she was in grad school in Pittsburgh, where I'm from, so homegirl represent. So 5 stars for this book. Please go read it. It's so important. And I'm going to ask, have you read it? If so, let's talk about it, because I feel like this book is so, so, so important for the world to know about. So leave some stuff in the comments and give this a like if you like the book. That's all I got. Oh, and go watch the movie. The movie was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was as good as the book. But as soon as I finished the book, I went and watched the movie. Oprah gives a great performance, but there was a lot of stuff that was left out of the movie, so you need to read the book. Thanks for watching. Bye!